Hello.
Hello.
It's Maeve.
And Katie.
It's been a while.
It has.
It's been a long while actually, hasn't it?
We've been terribly busy.
We have.
Up to all sorts of mischief, really.
Are we going to let them know?
No.
Next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no fun today, but next week we will have some pretty
epic news.
Pretty epic news is coming next weekend, hopefully. Oh, we have a lot of work to do and we will have some major stuff. That's why I've been so quiet. I've been working on a lot of stuff in the background. All will be revealed next weekend. Hello, Kelly. How are you? I'm waiting for her to reply and then I realise she just can't. So, Katie, this weekend.
Are you happy in your nappy?
We just thought we brought in some new nappies this last month.
Yeah.
And we didn't really show them. So we've had a few queries recently. So we thought we'd have a quick run through on nappies and we've got a couple of little goodies to give away at the end.
We have.
So watch the end to find out. Hello Emma, how are you? Are we the right way up? Oh, Kelly says, ooh, nappies. I hope no, I think we are the right way up. So talk to us about Petite Lulu.
Yes, so Petite Lulu, we have brought in a little selection from them. They are gorgeous prints.
Hello Rachel.
The biggest thing I want to take away from Petite Lulu is how beautiful they all are, because they do have some phenomenal, really snazzy prints. So they're really brighten up your nappy stash. So what we have here is the snap in one. So they call it an in one, but really it's two-piece. So if you're familiar with our flip system, it's kind of like that. Few differences though. It has got lovely fleecy edges, so all around the leg cuffs and around the tummy. It's a lovely little fleece edge, so it'll keep baby nice and snug, and obviously fleece wicks away moisture, so there'll be less leaks from around the sides.
Let's actually, I'm going to disrupt you here. Let's wind back a bit. You said if people are familiar to the flip system, well, they might not be. So let's do this video for complete beginners.
Complete beginners, right from the very
start.
Right
from the beginning. So, right from the beginning, we have one-piece nappies and we have
two-piece nappies. Okay, so two-piece nappies mean you have an absorbent part and you have a waterproof outer layer, and you need to use both pieces together to create a nappy. A one-piece nappy, whether you stuff the absorbent part into an existing pocket or it's all stitched in together, the whole nappy is changed at each change. Whereas with the two-piece nappy, you can just change the absorbent part and the waterproof part can be reused.
So that's just basic. I mean, you can go on and look, and people have these AI2, the lingo that people use, and they just make it so complicated.
Lots of jargon.
Feel like they need to do an open university degree in
and have a dictionary.
And have a dictionary
just for nappies.
Just for nappies. And we really try and strip it back to the basics. One piece, two piece. If you have a one piece called an all-in-one, a pocket, whatever, we just call them one piece nappies. And that means when you change it, you change everything.
The whole nappy. So
just
the whole
like
lot comes off, the whole lot goes on.
And there's loads of different materials now, but basically it's a one piece nappy. And then the other type is a two piece nappy, and that's where you change the inner bit, but you keep the outer bit. Which is better? Amanda, that really depends on you, your baby, your drying, what you prefer.
Your childminder, your mother, whoever it is looks after your child whenever you aren't, because some things are more user friendly than others, so who are people who are used to disposable nappies in general.
I think for nurseries, for grandparents, when I left it with my dad when the kids were younger, I would always leave a one-piece nappy because it was just like a disposable. You put it on, you take it off. Whereas if my mum was childminding or I was changing, I always used two-piece because a lot quicker to dry. I had two in cloth at the same time. A lot speedier. So, but my husband again would have used one piece. Actually, he would have used both, but he probably would have went for a one piece first. So there's no better overall. There just could be a better for you.
Yeah. So whenever we talk about doing nappy trials with people, we talk about whenever they fill in the questionnaire, we ask them about their drying facilities and everything else, because that makes so much difference. Because whenever you're using a two-piece system, it means you can take the absorbent part out. Most of them spread out thinner again, and they dry really quickly in comparison to the one-piece nappies, which, because everything's stitched in together, can take a little bit longer.
For an active 2-year-old, I would go one piece. It depends if it's a snap-in like this, which is a two-piece.
Or even with the flip system, which is a slide-in sort of system.
When my youngest was young, he was
wriggled
like
and jiggled
Michael Flatley on speed. And I'd be chasing around the sitting room after him, trying to get a nappy on him. And trying to get a two-piece on him would have just been a faff when he started really running because he could run.
I think there's differences again within two pieces, because you can have a two-piece nappy where you have to put on a nappy and then a wrap over the top, or you can have a two-piece system where there's like a pad of material that you put into a waterproof outer and then change the whole thing as one thing. So what I would tend to do is, if I'm using a two-piece system, is I'd have my next nappy set up waiting to go on to the child, so I'm not in the middle of a nappy change having to find an insert and put it into a wrap.
And again, you don't have to have all one type. You can
Nope.
mix and match, which is what we really recommend. So you might have a two-piece for nighttime because it needs to be a lot more absorbent, and you can generally stuff a two-piece better. You might have a one-piece for nursery, for granddads, for dads, even for mums, even. And then you might have a two-piece for when you're at home or when you're out and about. Kelly has asked, and actually I'll just do this as an answer. We'll do
a Q&A.
Q&A. Kelly has asked, can you tumble dry them, or are you better off drying them on the radiator?
That will depend on what material you go for. For the most part, you can dry them on low in the tumble dryer. Some things like cotton are a bit more resilient to tumble drying. Things like bamboo, which is bamboo, viscose or rayon, we can get into a bit more detail about that later. It doesn't bear up so well with direct heat, so it tends to be either tumble dry on low if you have to, but really put on an air near a radiator is better, never directly on a radiator, especially if it has any waterproof on it. You don't want to put that on a radiator, it will melt and then it will no longer be waterproof.
Excellent, so let's go back. So we have a two-piece nappy. Now within the two-piece system, so basically the fundamental tenets of a two-piece is you have your inner absorbent bit and your outer waterproof bit. We've had Flip for a good few years, and that is probably still my favourite nappy type of system.
I love these and use them particularly at night. Would tend to use them during the day as well. I like that you can put different things in them.
That's what I love about them, yeah.
They're really versatile. I have been on holidays and run out of inserts and used like cloth towels from the bathroom and put those in because I've literally run out of every insert.
T-shirts, whatever. And those
we've had mums who've put their vest tops in the nappy just to get them through whatever short period of time it is they need to get to.
We've also had mums who've used those over disposables when disposables leak for them because they are the elastic all around them.
Yeah,
really helps contain.
The difference between a disposable nappy and a reusable nappy is the amount of elastic you have at the back. So if you think about your disposable nappy, it's like there's like a little bit of a cinch in it, whereas this is really good elastic and it's designed to last a good few years on a wriggly baby, and it could be tucked right into the knicker line, and it means that nothing really gets past it. So if you have had a newborn baby who's had explosions up the back, out the legs and everything else, these are the answer. They cure that.
Yeah. So that's a Flip, and inside the Flip you can have your different inserts. Now we've done videos on Flip before, so I don't want to go in, but very quickly, you've
basically got a choice of a couple of different materials with Flip. So you've got the reusable organic cotton insert, and this is like a pillowcase size, and it's really, really thin, and you just fold that up into a pad, and then you can put it straight into your nappy, and then whenever you go to change the nappy, just change this part, and then you can reuse this part, so it just lies down into the nappy inside. I'll just quickly show you how that goes. Just poppers on the front. Inside you've got a little bit of material at the back, a little bit of material at the front, and then you just lie your inset down, tuck it in. I'll pick it up and show you now. So it's tucked in at the front, tucked in at the back, and then you just change this white part and reuse the purple part.
Perfect.
Other colours are available.
Other colours are available, and then it comes in stay dry.
Yeah, so stay dry has the stay dry layer on the front. It has microfiber on the back. If you think like a sponge, cotton works like your kitchen towel. It soaks up a little bit more slowly, but if you wring it out, the water doesn't come back out again. Microfiber is a bit more like a sponge. So if you soak up a load of water, it'll soak up really, really, really fast. But if you squeeze it out, a lot of water will come back out again. So what I always advise is to keep another insert in behind microfiber, especially if you're going into a car seat or into a sling, because otherwise you can get compression leaks and basically the water squeezes back out again, which you don't want to happen.
And then a very popular nappy is the Little Lamb Bamboo.
Yeah, so Little Lamb Bamboo is a fitted nappy, so the whole nappy goes all around baby and the whole thing gets wet. People panic about this. Don't, it's fine, it's supposed to get wet. It comes with a fleecy liner for the inside. You have a bamboo tongue, so you can boost it, so you can fold it more towards the front. If you have a boy who pees at the front, you can fold it more towards the middle or the back if you have a girl, because they pee more towards the middle and the back of their nappy. And you can just lie that fleecy booster in, and that fleece liner will then keep baby's bum nice and dry. and the whole nappy just goes round baby, and then you put a waterproof wrap over the top.
The waterproof can be either a flip will fit around it,
Yeah.
or we have a capri here, I think.
Yeah, we have some capri here. The difference between the capri and the flip, now again they have the little flap at the front and the back, so you can tuck in the flip inserts if you want to use the capri instead. And this one has double gussets on the leg, so this tucks in nice and close to the skin, and this gives sort of like a second layer of protection, so very little is going to escape that, if anything at all.
Someone has asked what is the less bulky. I would have to say flip with organic down.
Yeah, flip organic cotton is going to be your least bulky option.
So let's put these together. Let's show the bulk of the little lamb that's in your hand with a nappy wrap around it.
Just a very quick demonstration, just slide that in there.
And you know, for bulkiness, that's important for some people. Some people want bulk, particularly if they have hip dysplasia with children. Bulk is better for
yeah, it keeps the hips in a nice open position, so bulk isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Some people like that big bum look, some people don't, you know.
I have to say, Lily recently with her pants on has looked a bit like skinny around the middle. It makes me a little bit sad. I folded this up quite clumsily actually, so it's not particularly flat, but you can see there's quite a big difference.
Yeah, little lamb bamboo would be very bulky.
Yeah.
It's probably about the bulkiest we sell.
This, if you fold your insert nice and neatly, is probably about as bulky. It's probably like 2 disposables.
If that.
Dry. Yeah. Bear in mind, disposable swells when it's wet. These don't. So, yeah, I think an elemental.
And the new Petite Lulu, we might as well show that next.
Petite Lulu, this is with the basic and the plus insert in. So this is like, you could probably use this for a night nappy. So if you compare this to this, because you could use both for night.
I mean, Little Lamb Bamboo has its place. It's cheap, it's quite absorbent, but it does take ages to dry and it is bulky.
They're also sized, so if you start off with a Little Lamb size 1 on your baby whenever they're brand new, you're going to need to buy a size 2 by the time they're about 6 to 9 months, depending on your baby.
I would say 4 to 6 months. I think the Little Lamb Bamboo is quite small. I think other ones do it 6 to 9. I think the Little Lamb size 1, I think is quite small. Hi Maria, hi Gina. I'm just saying hi to people.
Hello. So that's your flip.
So in the Petite Lulu range, there is a fitted. Am I correct? And I really like this fitted actually.
I love this fitted. I'm not usually a huge fan of fitted nappies because I think putting one nappy on and then putting another wrap on the top just takes a lot of hard work. But this is really cute and it's really soft. This one is their fluffy organic, so it's made from organic cotton and it has bamboo inside. So it's a 60-40 mix of bamboo and cotton. Gorgeous prints. Yes, you're going to put a wrap over the top of them anyway, but
that's not the point.
It makes nappy changing more pleasurable for me, not necessarily for the child.
So these are all fitted again with these. You need that wrap on the outside.
Yes, so you've got on
Claire
the inside here.
She only ever got 3 months out of a Little Lamb size 1.
There we go.
They're very small. They're very low rise. I think.
They are very low rise. So you have your nappy here. It's nice and stretchy, so it's going to go around any shape. Petit Lulu tend to be quite tall in the rise, so they do fit the opposite of the Little Lamb and fit quite a tall baby.
And it's one size, is it?
Yes, they're birth to potty, so they've got snaps on the front, so you can adjust the height of the rise. So if you open them out, they've got 3 different sizes. So you can have them fully opened out, you can have them fully closed up, or you can have them in between. And then you have this lovely long booster here, and again you can snap this in at the back and you can fold it, so you've got it folded up more for the front for a boy, you can fold so you've got it more in the middle for a girl, more to the back for a new breastfed baby who tend to poop up the back of their nappies. But lovely and soft and fluffy, and you've got that lovely organic cotton on the front, so the outside of it's lovely and soft and nice and absorbent as well. Again, this one will get wet all the way around, don't panic about that. And for a wrap on the outside of that, you could either use the capri, same as we showed earlier, just a different snazzy print. This one's got rockets. Or Petit Lulu have their own wraps as well, and these can be used with their fitted nappies or they can be used with their snap-in ones, which we'll talk about next. So again, popped it open, nice fleecy edging, so it's going to be nice and soft and against their thighs, and you just put that on.
Maria asked what brand. These are Petite Lulu?
Petite Lulu. So you can just tuck all in there. And this one has lovely rain clouds on it. They've got loads of different patterns. They've got rainbow-esque ones, they've got pinky ones, they've got bluey ones. loads of different patterns, but that is your fitted inside your wrap.
So how does that compare it yet with a little lamb?
Little lambs. I'm going to verge it's going to be slightly slimmer.
Yeah, it is a one size, so that will grow. I mean, I suppose you're talking flip is going to be the slimmest.
Yep.
Then your petite Lulu, then your
little lamb.
But
that's that.
So that's what you call a fitted. Now let's just explain the difference between a fitted and a pad system.
So a fitted is fitted all the way around baby. So it covers their bum, it covers around the sides of their hips, and it covers into their crotch area. So it goes the whole way around like a pair of knickers, but more padded because it's got more absorbency.
So fitted are always 2-piece, and they fit round the baby, and then you put a waterproof around that again.
Over the top. So you put on one nappy, and then you put on basically another nappy again.
The petite Lulu are really pretty patterns.
They are very, very nice. Look at this. I love this. It's called I Love Toys. Got it upside down. So got rocking horses.
I'm feeling the panda more.
Pandas are cute. Rain clouds. Toucans.
Oh, I like toucans.
Rainbow stars.
Nice. Okay, so that was a fitted 2-piece.
Yes.
So as we explained, you have your inner fitted nappy, and then you put an outer waterproof wrap around it.
Yep, so
when you're changing it, you can usually get 2 or 3 goes out of the wrap. You just change the inner part. So the next type is a fitted pad system.
Yep. So generally, whenever I'm changing
which would
the
be
nappy,
a flip system.
Yep. So similar to the flip again. So you have the waterproof wrap, and what I would tend to do is have 2 waterproof wraps on the go, and change the insert every time.
Air it.
Yeah. So I just wipe it out with a reusable wipe. So it's just a very damp, slightly damp wipe. So it just wipes off anything that's on the surface. Snap in my new insert ready to go, and pop that then into the change bag or basket or whatever you're using for the next change. So you're not halfway through a nappy change going, I need a nappy, and then having to leave baby and go and snap things in. So to make life a little bit easier, I try to be a bit more prepared when I'm using 2-piece systems and have everything ready to go. So you've got your waterproof part, and then you have, this is a basic plus insert. So it has your basic insert, and then it has this plus insert as well.
Time, or just a booster.
If you have a particularly heavy wetting child, you can use that. You don't need to use it, you can use the basic on its own. And again, this unsnaps from the actual waterproof wrap. So that's the waterproof wrap on its own. That can go over your fitted nappy, or you can use it with the pad system. So you've got the 2. So you can buy extra pads. So you can buy more basic plus inserts separately. You can buy the fitted nappy separately. You can buy the wrap separately, or you can buy this as an all-in-one, snap-in-one system.
They're making it complicated again, aren't they?
They're making it a little bit complicated. What I like to think is we've got a wrap. The wrap goes with any of the inserts or the fitted nappy. So you can either buy it as a set, buy them individually.
I suppose that's without complicating it, and that is sort of fitted, so it's halfway between a pad and a fitted, isn't it? Because it does curve round.
It curves around a bit, but it's not covering right the way out the side of the hips.
Yeah.
So it's not going the whole way around, and only this bit's going to be the bit that gets wet. Whereas with a fitted nappy, the whole tab at the side and everything are going to be wet as well. And people always panic, do I need more boosters because this is all wet all over? Well, if it hasn't leaked, then you're probably okay.
Okay, so a traditional pad system would be more the flip, which is a pad.
Yeah, so just a pad. So you put that in and change it over, or this
now
one.
That little flip, pick up that day again. Don't be fooled by the slimness of that. That is really absorbent.
It's really, really, really absorbent.
And it dries in a flash.
Because you can open it up to that, it takes about as long as a pillowcase does to dry. It takes no time at all. I've had them outside in half an hour and the washing line, they've been bone dry on a nice day.
Whereas your bamboo
can take a little bit longer. It's slower to dry.
Yeah.
So these are the bamboo inserts. So this is your basic insert. It has, again, fleece on the inside, and it's elasticated in the gusset. So it sits in nice and close to baby. So it's all sort of tucked up in between the legs, and that means that you're not going to get leaks out. The fleece, again, with its properties of being wicking, means that the moisture stays inside the nappy rather than going around to the outside of the nappy. And you do have little snaps on here, so you can snap it into the nappy and it'll stay in place.
So I guess this system is going to be better with your kind of system of having 2 on the go.
Yeah, so I would have
one snapped in, ready to go.
Then I would just, whenever I'm changing baby, unsnap this and throw this into the wet bag.
Would have your second nappy.
Would have my second nappy already prepped and ready to go to put straight onto baby, so I can deal with the wet part of the nappy, then wipe it out, then snap it back in, put it back in the changing bag after I've changed baby. So I'm not leaving a wriggly baby on a changing table panicking.
Exactly.
So,
Diane asked, what are they made of? Not the bamboo, the flat one. Organic cotton.
yeah, so the flip organic day insert is organic cotton.
There is a flip organic night insert, which
There
is super absorbent.
It's really thick. It has 6 layers, is it, of organic cotton all stitched together. And then you just fold that along the lines into 3 pieces, and it just slides
But also
in the same
with
way.
the flip organic, with any of them, you can put 2 in. You don't have to just put 1 in. You can put 3 in. You can put...
What I tend to use these for is I use these because they're great at holding the liquid in, like I was saying earlier on.
With that
these
on top, yeah.
soak in really, really fast. So I got the best of both worlds and use both.
That's how I would have...
And I would do
Yeah.
that at night time as well, so I would use that on top of a nighttime insert. And that both of my children have been quite heavy wetters at night. I think it was the only time that Alfie didn't dribble. My thoughts on that, my son, was that he dribbled so much during the day he couldn't possibly have filled his nappy because...
He wasn't going to he was going to fill the bucket of dribble. But...
He did, yeah, and times we did mop the floor with him once or twice.
Okay, so that is the basics of a 2-piece system. So forget all the lingo and jingo that you read online. It's actually quite simple. When you boil it down, you have your wrap, you have your inner bit, and then you can just choose whether you go with a fitted or a pad, choose your material, choose your... And a lot of how you choose it would be really basically down to your budget.
Yep.
Your drying facilities, how many children you've got, who's changing, if you've got any, if you've got arthritis in your hands or something, you might go for an easier system. We do recommend, we always go for popper on nappies because Velcro just wears.
Velcro wears, it also gets full of lint.
It gets full of lint.
And you sit there and pick it out,
can...
and yeah, by the time they get to like 4 or 5 months, they're pulling their nappy off and waving it around their head. Trust me, that's not pleasant.
So we always recommend, what is best to wear for potty training? I would say, for potty training, you remove the stay dry layer, so you can just use...
So if you were using a flip system, you could use that, which is just the cotton, and that feels wet against the skin.
Because with the stay dry layer there,
what that does is it wicks away the moisture, so it takes the moisture from here and it makes it go into the absorbent
so
part
babies
behind
don't
it.
feel the wet.
Yeah, so it's a bit like a stay dry core in your disposable nappies.
Yeah, so they don't feel the wet. But if you take that stay dry layer away and just have organic cotton, when they wee, they will feel it, and the cause and
effect.
Cause and effect
Teaches them, oh no, hold on, that's not right. I don't like that. I'm going to go and do it in potty next
So
time.
I always recommend to mums who have used, maybe if they used all-in-ones, whatever, even to put an organic booster or something in there.
Or,
a couple of months before they're thinking about potty training, because it just starts to slowly let them, when I do this weeing action, I get wet. That's not nice.
Or the likes of silk liners as well,
Yes.
because if you have already got your nappies and you don't want to be spending the money on a different system, a silk liner will make them feel wet against their skin as well.
Okay, so have we discussed Petite Lulu in full?
I think we have. Should we sum up?
Should we sum up?
So we have
Pretty
our
prints.
Snap in One Complete, which is our waterproof outer and our absorbent pad system in the middle.
Can the inserts be tumble dried? They definitely can for flips. With the Petite Lulu, your elastic is the bit that's going to cause the issues, isn't it? Because tumble dryers tend to eat
If you tumble
elastic.
dry anything, it's going to last less time than if you dry it air dry. So really, ideally, what you would have is a maiden somewhere near a radiator or with a dehumidifier in the room, and they'll dry really, really quickly if you're worried about drying speed.
Your flips are going to be fine.
Yeah, your flips, I tumble dry my flip inserts.
What's really going to be affected if you get the snap-in insert again?
Yeah, so the snap-in insert, the bit that is on the side here, so it's got fleece and elastic on
It's
the
the
inside.
elastic bits that get really killed, especially if you've got washing powder, because washing powder residue and heat just kind of eat elastic.
Just basically
So-
turns into acid.
Can you tumble dry them? Yes, tumble dry and low. You can tumble dry your flip stay dry insert. I always say you can use and abuse that insert.
That pretty much you can do anything with it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of abuse.
The only time I've seen issues with it is like super, 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 super hard water, and sometimes it starts to curl up.
Yeah,
But you can cure that with soda crystals in the wash.
yeah. I mean, that's a hard water that will do it to any
yeah.
material. The elephant, somebody said the elephant's very pretty. It's a really pretty print.
We love them.
Okay, I can't see any more questions. I will just scroll back to see if I missed any.
Yeah, so snap in one.
Can you tell me about strip washing? Our nappies are starting to smell a bit of ammonia.
Why? Why are your nappies smelling of ammonia?
Well, that's you, Katie.
If your nappies are coming out of the wash still smelling of ammonia, that tells me you're probably not using enough washing powder. It could be not enough washing powder, it could be too much washing powder. When it's ammonia smell, I tend to think it's just not enough washing powder.
I think the opposite.
Well, see, are there bubbles in your last rinse? If there's bubbles in your last rinse, you're using too much washing powder. I tend to think if they come out smell of washing powder, you're using too much. If you're smelling of ammonia when they're straight out of the wash, I think
if they come out
enough.
smell, when you smell your nappies, if they smell lovely and fresh, you've got washing powder built up in there. You need to put them on the rinse again until they come out smelling of nothing. And really, we can't tell you how much washing powder you use because it depends on your water, whether it's soft, whether it's hard. It depends on your machine. It depends on how it rinses it out, how much water it uses. You just have to use it until you get them coming out smelling of nothing.
Yeah,
literally
so just smell
nothing.
of water. So.
And if you have got them straight... Oh, I swiped left to reveal comments. I put them all on hide. Didn't mean to do that. So if you have got ammonia build-up, to strip it out...
You would want to use a full dose of detergent and stick that in your wash. I would wash them twice with a full dose of detergent and then just keep rinsing and rinsing and rinsing and rinsing and rinsing until there's no bubbles.
She replied, I don't know, washing at 60, if I use too much powder, the machine explodes. So maybe in this instance, it's not enough powder. 90% of the time, it's too much powder. Big debate in the washing world. I'm going with 15 years of nappy selling experience. When nappies come back to me, they always smell of washing powder, always. People often, especially if they use fabric conditioner and stuff.
Ever use fabric conditioner?
But it's in your machine.
Yep. I don't use fabric conditioner at all.
I don't use it. Does it have to be washing powder, or can you use liquid tabs? You cannot use fabric softener, absolutely not. Fabric softener actually puts a waterproof coating on your clothes
so it makes them feel lovely and silky.
Makes them feel silky
it's a
and
conditioner
smell.
in your hair.
You don't want a waterproof coating on your nappies.
Nope.
Liquid tabs tend to cause issues.
There's a huge debate, and whenever I'm asked in the library what I recommend, I say bio-detergent based for colours, because it's less optical brighteners, so it's not going to fade anything. And the bio, basically, there's the whole bio non-bio debate. I use bio powder because the bio has an enzyme that breaks down the dirt. The non-bio doesn't, so it uses a whole load of other chemicals to try and break down the same dirt. So to me, it's just simpler to use the bio. I find it does a more effective job.
I can't remember who asked about the washing powder to build up. If you're worried about that, what I always say is get a bowl of lukewarm water, put your nappy in it, clean, obviously not a dirty nappy, once you've washed it and dried it, put it in it and squeeze it. And if your water becomes cloudy, you've got washing powder in there. So if you squeeze it and it's lovely and clear, and it's smelling, then you're probably not using enough washing powder. And it is a bit of a balancing act, but when you get it right, you're fine.
But you want to find out before you strip your nappies, because there's no point in stripping your nappies until you know what the problem is, because you're just going to have to do it again in a couple of months' time, because they're going to smell again.
So find out. Claire said that detergent build-up was completely debunked. Actually, it wasn't. When you go back and look at the science, it wasn't. And every nappy retailer distanced themselves from that science gang. It wasn't debunked at all. Build-up is not a myth. If you've got smelling nappies, put them in lukewarm water. If it's completely clear water, it's not a build-up. Use a bit more washing powder until you get the balance right. Again, it depends on your water, it depends on the machine. If you've got smell and you put them in lukewarm water and you've got any bit of cloud distortion in that, you have a build-up. And you see, it can also come from if you use fabric conditioner in your other washers.
That builds up in your machine and that then washes through your machine. So it was always
if you don't clean your machine out.
So next point was a maintenance wash in your machine at least once a month. The other thing is, how many nappies are you putting in the wash at the same time? Does your drum need a bit more room? So are you putting in 20 nappies in a drum that probably only has enough room for about 15, or are you putting in like none and they're just not getting enough water?
Modern machines don't use enough water to really thoroughly rinse them out, and that is the biggest issue.
So if you're not getting enough water in your machine, you can either add extra water. I used to do a rinse hold on my first rinse. So I put my nappies in the wash, haven't removed any solids, and put them on a rinse hold, and that meant there was more water in the machine, so it was heavier when I put on my main wash. The heavier your machine is when you put on your main wash, the more water it adds to correspond to the number of nappies. So if you had a smaller amount of nappies in and you wanted to trick the machine into adding more, a rinse hold's a good way to do that, or a wet towel, if you want to put a wet towel in there, or you can just pour water into the drawer of your machine.
in America they have a lot less issues because they have the old-fashioned machine. Strip your machine before doing the nappies and see if that helps. Yeah, absolutely. A wash of your machine once a month.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that really? Who remembers? Well, I know you did because you before having nappies you did.
Before having cloth nappies, I never cleaned my machine once. Didn't know there was a maintenance wash on my machine, but from using cloth nappies, I'm well aware of the need to use a maintenance wash every now and again.
Because you don't want. Well, I wouldn't have used. But my daughter uses fabric conditioner on her clothes. I hate the stuff. I abhor it.
No, I don't like the smell of it.
But it's always fabric
Hurts
conditioner
nose.
smell on nappies when they come back to us with an issue. And I must admit that is quite rare. You know, once you get your washing, just a few little adjusts to your wash, whether it's slightly more, slightly less, just adjust it. If you're in really soft water, it tends to be less. In really hard water, it tends to be more. That's just until we go and live in your house for a month, we can't tell you. Okay, so let's have a prize.
Oh, why not? What do we have?
We'll have a couple of prizes. We'll have 2 little ones and then maybe something nice.
These are super, super cute. These are little Petit Loulou nappy key rings. So you can pop these on your key ring as a conversation starter. Perhaps you want to convert somebody to use cloth nappies at your mum and baby group or whatever it is that you go to. So 2 cute little nappy key rings.
Do they actually open?
That's a good question. I haven't tried and seen if they do.
No.
They do.
Oh, they do? Oh.
Yes, so you can open them up. So we've got a cute little inside as well. So you can use those, pop them on your keychain and have a little bit of a conversation starter about your key ring.
Okay, so we have 2 of those up for grabs. To win those, just tag a friend who you think should try cloth below.
Yep.
And both you and your friend will win one each. How's that? They are super cute.
They are
and
very
then
cute.
let's give away a cloth nappy. Which cloth nappy?
Which cloth nappy?
I'll tell you what, tell us which cloth nappy pattern you liked and we'll just randomly choose one sometime when we remember.
Go and take a look at the Petit Loulou, the capris,
We
the
can
flips,
quickly go through them now.
whichever you like.
We
So
haven't
we've
got them
got,
all here, have we?
this is the pink elephants. We don't have them all, so go and take a look and see what other ones there are online as well. So this is our little pink elephants. We have some lovely toucans.
I do like toucans.
We have the clouds.
I do like the clouds, but I think it's just the colours. They're very us, aren't
They're
they?
various colours. And then inside the clouds we have some dolphins. We have some aliens. There's astronauts as well.
Bridget said she's been trying to read lips watching this because she's putting the baby to sleep.
I do that all the time. Then I love toys, because I love toys. And we've got some rainbow
Diane
stars.
says send the elephants her way.
Well, Diane, that if you win. We've got some, was it, they're fatty pandas, I think they call them. We've got lovely little paisley print, which is a bit different. And then what I did bring down from the capris. The capris we've got, I love these piggy wiggies.
I love the pigs, yeah.
We've got some space rockets in a capri as well, and some pink kittens.
We've more. There's
Lots
lots more online.
There's
so
loads
go
more
and have a
online.
look.
Go online, go to the nappy section, take a look at the 1-piece nappies, the 2-piece nappies, and tell us which print is your favourite.
So we've got 2. We've got a nappy to give away. So
Yep.
tell us which print you liked, and then we've got the key rings. Tag a friend who you think should try cloth, and you and your friend will win
Cute little key ring.
a cute little key ring. That is it for us. We're going to go now and carry on with our little project, which we hopefully are announcing next weekend. It's kind of mega.
Just a little bit.
We might have to go a little bit mega with it.
We might have been burning the midnight oil for the last.
We have been burning the midnight oil. We have. That's it. If there's any more questions, comment them and we will read them later and try and answer. If you want to try cloth, you don't know where to start. If you want to our Reusable Nappy page, scroll down. There is a nappy advice form. Fill it in and one of the team, or me or Katie or somebody, will get back to you. I think that's it. I think we can go and enjoy Saturday evening now.
Yep. It must be wine o'clock by now.
I don't know what time it is. No, it's a bit early. It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
8 o'clock for wine.
By the time I get home, it might be nearly wine o'clock.
Bye for now.
Bye.